Hello, guten Tag. I will present briefly in the next slides the project on which we are going to work in our Lehrstuhl in the master program of the UDK for the winter semester 2022-2023. As you can read already in the title, Kunstraum or Space for the Art, this already announces the theme that is going to be the leitmotif of the whole semester. That you can also check in the dates that starts today. We'll have several intermediate critics moments and final presentation in the month of February next year. The traditional concept of the spaces for art exhibition is being questioned in recent times from many different points of view. Already in the last century, the ideas of Avi Warburg, Walter Benjamin, or André Malraux reinterpret the relationship between the work of art and the observer, between the originality and singularity of the work and its exhibition, which in a way anticipated the current eruption of digitalization in our time. Today, the relationship of the work and the observer, the visitor, the notions of genius, of masterpiece, the dichotomy of great arts versus minor arts, the traditional pre-established exhibition formats, for example, chronological or national schools, etc., are radically questioned, while discussions related to the digital transmission of art, gender, post-colonialism, political activism, etc., are introduced as new elements that reformulate the narrative of the museum and its role in society. But if we focus on buildings themselves, on architecture conceived for the exhibition of the arts, although they share their primary architectural mission, that is, the conception of spaces suitable for the exhibition and conservation of the works on display, nevertheless, only some of them transcend their immediate spheres of action to create a public space capable of transforming the broader context in which they are inserted. Ultimately, it is the activity and use of the citizens themselves that gives a place its public character, but it is the architect's responsibility to create the spatial and material conditions that favor and enhance it. Museums and spaces for the arts are, in this sense, because of their link to culture and their civic vocation, buildings that offer the opportunity and have the implicit mission of regenerating the context in which they are located. Whether it is a question of interventions in existing structures, rehabilitations, or new constructions, architecture oscillates between the interpretation of the place and its history, on one hand, and the spatial response to specific requirements, that is, between memory and invention. So the objectives of the semester are analyzing the interconnection between continent and content. This semester we will work on imagining and rethinking the concept of exhibition spaces for the arts, the role of the museum in today's society, and its importance in urban regeneration and the creation of public space. The semester work will be divided into three phases. In a first phase, an analysis of concepts related to the contemporary debate will be carried out. In a next phase, an architectural space will be conceived to exhibit a specific work of art. And in a third phase, each team will design a building with a program for the arts located in Basel. The first phase analysis, each team will choose a case study, such as those suggested in the following reference list, that's only as a reference, and they will carry out a comparative analysis in relation to the works of art and the architectural spaces where they are exhibited. That means that, for example, traditional fine arts spaces for painting, sculpture, or temporary exhibitions or biennales, art fairs, performances, installations, audiovisual media, photography, video, digital art, NFTs. All these are themes in which the different teams shall work on, also very much connected to the type of construction space itself. For example, expansion of existing museums or refurbishment of existing ones, new buildings, museums as open space, itinerant exhibition spaces, museum without walls. The second phase will be a conceptual space for an artwork. In this phase consists of the design of an architectural space for a specific work of art to be chosen by each team of students, which will be worked on a physical model. The exercise aims to propose and discuss alternative ways of exhibiting art, depending on the specific conditions. Finally, the first phase, the architectural project. In this last phase, each team will design a project for the arts, for the exhibition, production, or transmission of artworks. For example, museum of painting or sculpture, museum of audiovisual art, video, photography, or Kunsthaus for installations, performances, artists in residence, open art museums, traveling pavilions for temporary exhibitions, art schools, Schaulager, etc. So the project will be located at the industrial areas of Biersfeldhafen and Auhafen in Basel that we are going to visit. But the specific location and detailed program of uses will be worked out in the course of the semester. The project will be presented by means of drawings and models. There will be several WiSe site visits in Berlin that we are going to organize regularly during the semester to museums and art centers, as well as artist studios in Berlin, to be announced in advance. And there will be an excursion. The excursion is going to be to Basel in Switzerland between the Saturday 29th of October and the Wednesday 2nd of November. The information in detail will be given to the students in the beginning of the semester. Finally, the time schedule again will include this excursion in the week that I mentioned before. There will be intermediate critics, the first one with an introductory lecture by Lucas Feilreis, second one on 30th of November of the second phase, and the final critic with invited critics in the 8th of February. In this slide, you can read the links where you need to apply, depending on your situation, to this group that has nevertheless a limited number of students. And finally, to end, to mention our team in our Lehrstuhl of Grundlagen des Entwerfens with die wissenschaftliche Mitarbeiterin Lisa Tiedje, die Lehrbeauftragte Lydia Korndörfer und die Tutorinnen Helene Peters und Annalena Mach. All of them have been working deeply in this presentation that I had the pleasure to introduce to you today. Vielen Dank.